Now, a big story. Barclays, the latest among a string of banks with plans to cut jobs worldwide, and looks like its operations here in Malaysia will not be spared. Now, Jacqueline Cao has her eye on the story. What do we know so far? This is massive, given that it's one of the biggest investment banking players in Europe.
That's right, so what we know so far is that Barclays will be announcing more than 1,000 job cuts worldwide, and will also be exiting several Asian countries. Now, in Asia Pacific, the bank plans to cut about 230 jobs and plans to exit operations in countries like Australia, Taiwan, South Korea, and even here in Malaysia, while maintaining offices in Hong Kong, China, Japan, India, and Singapore. But what we've also heard is that they've cut several positions in Singapore, so it looks like they're going to maintain their office in Singapore but reduce their workforce there. So there will also be cuts, albeit smaller ones, in New York and London, as the bank is trying to prioritize its operations there in those two cities. Now, this deepening of cuts comes at a time when there's turmoil in global equity and commodity markets, which put pressure on banks to reassess which markets and business lines they want to be present and to compete in, and to do it fast. Now, in the case of Barclays, its new CEO who took over just last month, Jes Staley, who is a former JP Morgan banker, he actually put a hiring freeze within the bank indefinitely after he discovered that the bank only cut about 3,000 jobs since 2012. He will be focusing all his energy to seek earnings growth within the bank and to restore investor confidence, and he can only do that by focusing on the bank's most profitable businesses while cutting losses in countries and in divisions that don't contribute as much as other divisions.
All right, when are the announcements of which jobs specifically will be cut be made to employees?
Well, it is investment banking that was said, and Barclays has also announced that it will be shutting down its cash equities businesses. So announcement will be made as soon as today, but for Barclays employees in Tokyo, they have already been told by the bank's Japan president about 80 positions in Japan will be done with. In Asia, and more specifically in the investment banking division, 40 to 50 positions are said to be on the chopping block.
Okay, so as we said earlier, this is just the latest bank to announce slashing headcount. So what else are we seeing in the banking space?
That's right. Just this week, Morgan Stanley CEO James Gorman, he said that he was effectively done with over 1,000 job cuts in the bank's fixed income trading after concluding that the outlook for the bank is poor. Standard Chartered also plans to cut 15,000 jobs to help save $2.9 billion by 2018. And then we've got Deutsche Bank saying it also plans to reduce about 9,000 jobs by 2018. Now, Deutsche is facing some challenging times when it comes to the numbers. It cautioned that it may be looking at a net loss of over 2 billion euros for the fourth quarter of 2015, which would result in Deutsche's first annual loss since 2008. So this is before the bank releases its financial statements on March 11, and March is also an important month for Barclays because CEO Jes Staley, it will be his first time presenting his strategic update since joining the bank, as well as presenting Barclays' full-year financial results on March the 1st.
All right, thanks so much, Jacqueline Cao, with the update there regarding Barclays potentially cutting 1,000 jobs across the world and 230 in APAC.